Good afternoon with TB here. We're cooking a little camp food off of my smoker in the backyard. What we've got here is some fried potatoes and onions and some hamburger meat cooking. Cooking my taters up there on the hot end. My hamburger's nice and slow on this far end. It's a little better than 300 plus in there, 300 degrees. And what I've done, I put the hamburgers on this end down here. Let them cook slower, so we don't want them to burn, but we do want them to get cooking. So I'm going to move them up just a little more. I'll put the barbecue on them directly, but I like to brown my hamburger meat first on the outside. That way we know if it's not raw whenever it gets done. Make sure it's done anyway. I hate eating raw meat. It's not a good idea. Let me see if I can flip these taters. Look, some taters and onions, they're not hard to make. Let's see with that lid open. See how that flame comes back up? Now shut that down. Now we're down below 200, you think. But that temperature gauge is going to start climbing now that I closed it. Or it should. And if it doesn't, you could do the same thing with a wood box on a steam engine. You see how that pressure, you have a wood box on one end, and if this was a hot water vessel here, hot water tank, and the lines went down into the cylinders of your, maybe copper lines for instance, went down to the cylinders of your pistons, it would cause a compression. Once it got hot enough, it would move. The hotter it gets, of course, the more pressure, the more plunger action you got to push the pistons up and down, and in which that's how they did it with steam engines back in the day on the steam engines such as tractors and your steam engines on your railroads. You know, they were called steam engines, and they were powerful enough, but it got to taking too much of our woodlands away. So they found a cheaper way to do it. So now they're using diesel generators. That's what they say up there, that I've been studying on that. A diesel generator is run by battery power and electrical motors on the hubs. They have electric hub motors down on the wheels, where on a car or vehicle, it's not that it couldn't be done, but it's a lot different setup. Because you got to be able to guide your vehicle, front wheel or rear wheel drive, you know, steering on your vehicle. So it has to be set up, you know, so that you can be able to drive it. But the main thing is you can't run. The problem with the steam engine, you wouldn't be able to run your lights and stuff off from it unless you had a steam engine generator on board. If you had a steam engine running a generator, now it would charge batteries. And I know it can be done, it's just how much cost would it be. And the thing is, coal and wood is both expensive, probably more expensive than gas. I don't know how much a ton it is anymore. I haven't bought any in years. But anyway, I just got this grub on about 5 to 7, so I'll have to watch the clock. In about 20 minutes, those taters will probably be done. We got 310 degrees in there, looks like. At this point, I can make it a lot hotter by raising the lid over there on the firebox, or this end one. But I don't want it any hotter because I don't want to burn my hamburgers. I want it to cook nice and slow. I meant to get it on at 5 o'clock, and I didn't make it. It wound up being 7 because I was cleaning my truck today. Didn't really trade it off. Anyway, I was going to mention, if y'all are in the market for beef jerky, the best beef jerky around that you'll find is down at Hal's Beef Jerky. Now, Hal's got a little website. I think he said it was halsbeefjerky.com or something like that. Don't quote me on it, but I think that's what he said. If not, let me give you his cell number. I will be checking with him on his website. I haven't had a chance to go up there and look at it. It's been a while since I've been up there on his site, because I make my own jerky for my own use generally, but I have bought some from him in the past, and he's had me work for him in the past, making jerky and different things in the past to help him a little bit along. But anyway, taught me how to make it, and I had my beef jerky for 9 years, 9 years, and then I shut it down. But anyway, retired. Okay, just a second. I want to give you his cell. I don't think he'll mind that a bit. For business purposes in this case. Well, somebody did something wrong. Let me get back to my connection here. Alright. Okay, contacts. Here we go. I'll find him. Whoop, went past him by one. Okay, that's Hal's Beef Jerky at 918-635-5759. That's Hal's Beef Jerky at 918-635-5759. Or you can see it on his website at halsbeefjerky.com. I'm pretty sure that's what he said. If it wasn't, I'll get that straightened out and change that, so don't worry in my next video or two. He'll probably call me later tonight, I suspect, after he gets out of church. He's doing a little program down at church tonight. It is Saturday night, but they're doing a singing. And he's a very good singer. Him and his daughter and his wife, they sing very pretty. They are Christian singers and stuff, and they have their Christian programs, which is good for the world to see if they're interested. But he has some songs that he wrote, him and his wife, and I think they've sold a few records. His wife, his name is Dina Gullett. Maiden name was Dina. Let me think a second. I got to turn these taters, and I'll tell you in just a second. But anyhow, her name was Dina Gullett now, and she used to be. Yeah, let me get this taters turned here, and I'll be right back with you. I'm going to have to go and get some more grease before this burns. Hang on a second. Oh yes, I was going to tell you his wife's maiden name was Dina Butler. But anyway, I don't know if any of y'all know her, but she's a good singer in the church, and her daughter sings, and her son. I haven't seen him in a while, but they all sing, and they do a lot of Christian songs and benefits and things like that for the community to help everybody out and things like that around here and other places. But anyway, I just thought if y'all were interested in some great homemade beef jerky, Hal's Beef Jerky's got jerky, and he also has some health juices and stuff. I don't know much about it yet, but it's going pretty good, I think. The last time I talked to him, he said that a lot of people are enjoying it. It helps these berries are made out of farms and different places, and they're for your health. Some of them are like, there's a coffee bean, I think they said something about that makes you lose weight in order for dieters to lose some weight and clean out their system. They got some different types of berries and stuff. You'd have to talk to him about that. I don't know much about it yet. I'm going to find out about it, but I just hadn't got into it yet to go down and visit with him, and he's been in it for a few months now. I'm just going to see how well it's doing and see how people are doing. This guy that's the owner of this outfit's a doctor, and he lives at Spiro, Oklahoma, but I don't know his name right now. I can't think of it. But anyway, he's been on Dr. Oz on the TV, and he's promoting health out of natural resources. Now he's not. I think Hal said he's a doctor. Don't quote me on it, but I think he is. I haven't been to check it all out yet. I've heard a lot of talk about it, but I haven't really got into it yet. But I will probably go down and talk with him one of these days when I have the time and find out all about it, and then I'll fill you in, or you can call Hal at that cell number and ask him about it. He is up on it. I don't know much about it yet, so don't quote me, but It's supposed to be good for your health and make you lose weight and to clean your system out and to prevent cancer